Alright guys, we are at 298 subscribers. The giveaway is at 300. If you want to win one of these amazing prizes, comment under my last comic book pickups in Savannah video. Link will be in the description below. Thank you. Hey guys, what's poppin'? It's your boy Devin. Welcome back to the D3 channel. We got a little small unboxing, but this video is more importantly talking about the future MCU Spec series as we're continuing with episode 2, talking about my girl, the one that nobody is looking at, the book that nobody's really looking at, only because they don't think that it's going to be in the MCU, but I think it will be. And we're talking about Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Let's get to it.
And I'm first, I got golden rings, you ain't cold as me. On my worst day, I'm frozen dreams, big as overseas. Never quit like some anime, watch your noses bleed, cause I'm hot.
Alright guys, if you like what you see and you want to see more, click that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so every single time I drop future MCU Spec unboxings like this one. If you've seen my Black Panther unboxing, then you know I'm getting ready for phase 4 of the MCU. It is here. It's here. It's here. It's coming. If you've seen the finale of Loki, then you already know that we're about to get ready for some crazy multiverse adventures. But that is the reason why I wanted to do this video right here, because it's one that nobody is thinking about, nobody's talking about, and I have a lot of bases on why I think they will be going with this route. But let's get into this quick unboxing right here. I'm excited about this. This is just kind of just a trade dress and the Virgin together. Just really wanted to get this. Just great books, and who knows? These are actually pretty nice. Actually, no, this is just one. My bad. This is just the one book. But this is nice, guys. This is really nice. This is from the artist himself, Frank Gogol. Frank Gogol. This is Unborn. That foil right there, if you can see that right there. It's just gorgeous. I mean, I've always loved the black and white pink palette. It just strikes that nice, soft, hot pink right there palette. Just looks gorgeous, guys. Just looks really gorgeous. So you can see that only a few of these came out. They're sold out now. So I'm always really not too big on virgins and stuff like that. I don't mind the trade dress. I kind of like the trade dress or whatever. But I know some people that got the virgin in the trade dress, but I just wanted to get the trade dress, so I'm glad that I got this Unborn. I'm telling you, this book right now, already about $200 on eBay. If you look it up, you're just about getting it for $200 at a basis. So, and I only paid maybe $20 for it. So you're talking about a $180 profit on just the raw. And so this book automatically, you already know it's going to get a 9.8 when I send it in to get graded and stuff. But that's just a little small unboxing for that. But we're going to talk about right now is episode 2 of the future MCU speculation series. And that is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. The reason why I'm thinking that nobody's thinking about this character is because she is confirmed to get an animated TV show. It was announced July. It was thrown at potentially July of 2018 that we were going to get a Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur animated series, but it wasn't confirmed. But we just got Spec that potentially, and that kind of shot up #1 of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur because it's the first appearance of Lunala Lafayette. And so, just a little bit of an intro about that character. So, Moon Girl, Lunala Lafayette, is basically a genius. And so, but she's also on the spectrum. And so, she's autistic. And so, that just branches out into a whole field of just superheroes and superhero women or whatever, just not being kind of just the stereotypical, you know, tall, gorgeous, you know, sexy and all stuff like that, whatever. This is a kid that's a hero, which relates to kids that want to be superheroes, but also she's on the spectrum. So she's she's more unique than what the other students that around her are, her peers, and she's super smart. But she's also an Inhuman. And so in the comics, there's a cloud that hovers over the Earth. And if you get exposed to it, if you have the Inhuman gene, it activates it. And so in a situation where she gets exposed to the cloud, she gets into this cocoon or whatever. A cocoon forms around her, and until a metamorphosis. And so what her power ends up being is that she's able to transfer her consciousness to Devil Dinosaur and Devil Dinosaur into hers or whatever. So on top of her being super smart, she's an Inhuman. And so the reason why I bring up that she's an Inhuman, because we know that Kevin Feige isn't going to bring the Inhuman TV show to the MCU. He didn't like it, really didn't like. When it comes to the Marvel TV shows, especially the ones that like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that, they really didn't rock like that. So they were just like, we'll do our own thing. And so this is what makes me think that this is an invitation of them bringing the Inhumans into the MCU if they do it through her, because we got the multiverse. We saw in Loki. Spoiler alert: if you haven't seen Loki, I don't know what's going on with you, but in Loki, the multiverse is open. The multiverse is spread, has begun, and so this opens up just a plethora of stories and opportunities and everything that you can get into the multiverse, because it doesn't just have to be live action or whatever. It can be animated, which brings my point of why I think they're going to use Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur valid, because the What If series that comes out this year is part of that multiverse. It's not an anthology. It's not a one-off that separates it from the MCU or anything like that. It is part of the phase. It is part of Phase 4. So in thinking of that, what other animated series is dropping that was announced literally a month after Phase 4 was announced officially in August of 2019? Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. So I really sat back and thought, like, that would be an interesting way to bring Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur into the MCU when you need to bring them to the MCU or whatever. You don't have to do a movie for or anything like that, because they already got the animated show explaining that. We've seen time and time again that we've seen animated shows come into the live action. We've seen how animated shows and other animated shows have crossovers. Like, we know, if you've watched cartoons from basically since cartoons were created, you know they do crossovers. Like, it's redundant. So the point that I'm making is that they can use Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur when they need to use her, because you got to also think about what team does Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, or what team are they a part of that is also with another female superhero that's getting her own TV show. Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. She and Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur are part of the Secret Warriors, which we know is going to not be adapted into the MCU, but we know they're already starting to make the pieces together where those heroes and all that are going to come together. Because when you also think about who's also part of the Secret Warriors, Karnak is part of the Inhumans, which makes me think, and which will make it be a creative way where you don't have to fully bring the Inhumans in, but you can really use them when you really need them by keeping them in Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur's universe. Now, of course, season 1 isn't going to be all about the Inhumans and all stuff like that, whatever, but it will have that in, it will have it in that world or whatever. Because I do believe that when we make the animated series, when they do make the animated series, they are going to reference that she is an Inhuman, because we know Kamala Khan isn't one in the show, in the live action, but that doesn't mean that they can't stay true to the comic source material in animated. And so, because we got to think about it, if they're going to make Kamala Khan an Inhuman, that means that you have to bring all the Inhumans into the MCU, and they don't want to do that. But how can you bring them into the MCU without it being fully committed to making a movie or a show about them or anything like that? You bring them in from a multiverse, which was, like, when you really think about it, that's how the whatever big event is going to happen. I said it here at D3 Channel. Mark it, book it today. I'm the one that first said it. Whenever the big event happens in Marvel, whatever the big movie that's comparable to Infinity War and Endgame, they're gonna go to these multiverses and gather all these heroes. I'm telling you, it's laid out. That's the reason why they're doing this multiverse, because you don't have to make. It makes it so much easier to where you don't have to make a movie for every single hero. You don't have to make a TV show for every single hero. You can just hop into the multiverse with one character that the movie or TV show is about and already just introduce that world. This is how I think they're really going to work with the MCU in the multiverse. So you remember in Infinity War where we jumped from place to place and there were specific heroes and villains place to place. New York, you had Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Wong and Bruce Banner. That was New York. You had space, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, Neverwhere, where Mjolnir and all that was made and stuff like that, or whatever. Nowhere as well. And so then Wakanda, Black Panther, Steve Rogers, Black Widow, Falcon, where they were based at. So we've seen that Marvel has exceptionally, incredibly have written well how they can jump from place to place. But because you know what, if we're going here, you know specific characters are going to be in that area. But that's because they were already teased or hinted or seen in those movies that surrounded those characters that we're watching. So I'm thinking when it comes to the multiverse, they're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go to a universe, and it'll be universe whatever number, and then we know when we see that universe number, we know who that's going to be the universe. We know who's going to be in that universe because it's going to already be kind of sprinkled somewhere in the past, either in Phase 4 or Phase 5. Because Phase 4 goes from 2021 to 2023. So that's a 3-year span that they're prepping. Because I think what Phase 4 is going to be, Phase 4 is prepping the multiverse. Phase 5 is fully going into it. And Phase 6 is going to be when it really gets into it. But because they did that groundwork in Phase 5 and Phase 4 to slowly introduce you and gradually bring it in, because they know this is a big convoluted way of bringing kind of just like the route that the MCU is going. So they gotta take their time with it, and I think they know that, which is why they're not going so crazy with it in Phase 4 right now. Everything is kind of the building blocks, kind of just the first step, and then the movies, because when you really think about it, next year's movies really don't cater more towards the multiverse like that, like talking about, because they're kind of focusing on heroes that's going to be the next kind of generation or whatever. Like they're bringing in like the new Black Panther, Thor Love and Thunder is going to bring in a new Jane Foster Thor, maybe Beta Ray Bill, we don't know yet. Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn has announced that the Guardians of the Galaxy team that we were introduced to is going to be disbanded in Volume 3. So we don't know what new team of Guardians we're going to get after that, which opens up a lot more for them to pull from there. But it's setting everything up for when the multiverse does span out or whatever. You already have these people, and we already know, oh, because that character's there, we already know that that character is surrounded by that specific person, or they go to this specific universe and all stuff like that. So it kind of helps be like, okay, boom, this universe, this universe, this universe, this universe. Because I highly doubt that Marvel is going to show us no more than maybe 6 multiverses. Honestly, like I honestly think they're not going to show us no more than that because it gets too convoluted. But those multiverses are going to be significant because if you read the comics, you know what universes come from. But if you only watch the TV show and the movies, they're going to throw that out there as a prep. So when we go back, you're like, oh, I remember that. That's from that movie. Oh, that superhero's in there. Okay, they're gathering that person. So you already kind of like know or whatever. It's kind of like when Captain America Civil War, when we found out about Spider-Man. And then Iron Man says he got a guy, and then it went straight to Queens. But it's like it was already hinted at the trailer, but you already knew who he was going to get, or whatever. We didn't have to get the origin of him getting bit by the spider or the death of Uncle Ben and all stuff like that. You just knew, or whatever. So it's just like, that's how I think they're going to use Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur as well. They're going to keep it as an animated series catered to kids, but when they need to bring her, I guarantee you, I promise you, I said it here on the D3 channel, when that big war comes and everybody's coming from the multiverse, guarantee you that Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is going to come through one of those portals or come through one of those multiverses and be a live action character, because that helps, because you only need to have that live action character for only a set number of things. It isn't already cast and they got to be in 6 films. They can take their time with each character, because we don't know what universe they're going to use. We think we know, but we don't know for sure. But it helps them go ahead and be like, okay, we're going to go into this universe, but we don't have to cast this person just yet, or whatever. Let's build it up and all that, and then bring that person in and just show them once, and then they don't have to come until a little bit later. So when it comes to, like, that's what I think with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I think, like, when it really is, you know, said and done, is that when she comes into live action, they'll have their little Lunala and the CGI Devil Dinosaur, which I think is going to be like complete beast or whatever when it happens. But when it's done and over, they can go back to their universe, but that doesn't mean that'll be the last time we see them. They can hop out, because her story actually focuses around time travel. And what was the big thing about Loki? Time travel. Devil Dinosaur came from the past. He was with Moon Boy, and then end up going into the future in New York, where he's with Lunala, and that's how she became Moon Girl. So when you really think about it, it just sets it up perfectly that there's no way that they're not going to bring Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur into the MCU, because she's already associated with other superheroes like that or whatever. So she's already associated with Kamala Khan and with the Secret Warriors. She's already associated, like, you see her in the comic books with Wolverine, X-Men, and stuff like that or whatever, because we know that the Inhumans and X-Men go together, like come together, Avengers, all this stuff like that or whatever. But it just caters to a younger audience and stuff like that, because that's something that I think Marvel is going to focus on. They're making a cartoon to where it could be catered to the kids, but I guarantee you kids are going to be excited to see a Marvel movie if they see what they seen in a cartoon turn live action. It's textbook 101 on how to get kids into the theaters for a big movie or whatever, especially if it has something with cartoons. Just bring the cartoons that they already seen into live action. We've seen it with Space Jam. We've seen it with Roger Rabbit. Like, when you do live action and cartoons together, it just works. I don't know if they're going to keep her a cartoon or whatever, which I think, honestly, it would be kind of interesting, but I think they're going to want to do everything live action, and then when she goes back to her world, she's just animated or whatever. But that's my spec. That is why I think Moon Girl, #1, first appearance of Lunala Lafayette, is going to be bigger than what everybody is thinking it to be, because her books go pretty high. But you already know that hip-hop variant is my thing. I have a 9.6 in it, and I'm pleased with a 9.6. It don't always have to be 9.8s for me. A 9.6 is perfectly fine, because at the end of the day, 9.6 and 9.8, those are the things that go up. Near perfect, perfect, near perfect. I mean, honestly, both of them are near mint. So at the end of the day, and usually 9.6s really have one flaw, and 9 times out of 10 is usually a pressable one. So if I really want to get a 9.8, I can get a 9.8, but I'm content with my 9.6 or whatever. Majority of my hip hop variants, if you haven't seen my hip hop variant video, it will be in that suggestion video over here. If it flips, maybe over here. I don't know how the video, once it's done, flips or whatever, stuff like that. But that will be a suggestion. Over 5,000 people have already seen that, and over 100 people already like that video, because they know, they believe in what I'm talking about. Those hip hop variants are going to be hella rare and hella special later on down the line. They already are. How many hip hop variants do you see in your comic book shop? Damn near almost none, really. So they're just not out there like that. That's what makes them so rare. The print run is hella low for these hip hop variants, and they're hard to grade. Black covers, easy to get spine ticks on them and everything. But if you watch my unboxings and you see my hip hop variants, You've seen that I have a lot of them that are 9/8s. Because I know how to choose them. I know how to find them. I'm telling you that Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur hip hop variant, that's a special one, but it's also a first print. But hey, who am I but just a hip hop variant fanatic? But that is my spec, guys, with Marvel, with the MCU. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, I believe, is wholeheartedly coming into the MCU. It's just too much grounds that she stands on that it will be a disservice for them not to bring her to the MCU. Because you got to think about it. When's the last time you seen a Marvel do anything animated? Think about it. Really think. When's the last time that Marvel has done anything animated? An animated movie, an animated TV show? It's been some years. And you're saying that as soon as they announced Phase 4, literally a month after they announced 100% confirmed with cast that they're coming with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur animated series, and they're not going to bring that into the MCU? Come on, you're sick. You're out of here if you don't think that they're not going to use the Moon Girl animated world as a multiverse. I'm telling you. But I said it here first. I'm the first one to say it, and I'll probably stand on it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll gladly say that. But I fully believe that they're just not. They just didn't make that animated. They just didn't make that animated show just to make it, because they could have been made it. You got to think about it. How long has Moon Girl? How long has the Moon Girl series been done? It's been done for some years now. Not long time, but it just came out like in the teens of 2000s. I have to look. I want to say maybe, because the hip hop variants came out between 2016, 2017. So I want to say Moon Girl 1 came out in 2016, I believe. So it's been like maybe 4 or 5 years since Moon Girl has been completed. It's only like a 40 print book, 40 issue run book. So they could have been, because it was already a popular series, they could have been made an animated show. But why did they wait till now? You got to think about it. As soon as they announced Phase 4 Marvel, they went and announced Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur at D3 Expo. Why would they do that? Because I think Kevin Feige is behind the scenes saying we can use that animated world. And then you gotta think, Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur's characters, they basically kind of mirror the world that we're in. They all, like, she goes against a Kree. She goes against a Kree warrior. She goes against a pink goblin. Fisk has a daughter there, Princess Fisk. Devin Dinosaur, who's the reincarnation of Devil Dinosaur, it's like she has her own world. Like her world is just too good and too unique for them not to pull from. I'm telling you, because it's gonna come. Something's gonna happen to where it's almost like Crisis of Infinite Earth, and how they made one big Earth where everybody's in it. I'm not saying that's how Marvel is going to do it, but I wouldn't be surprised. But at the end, if they end up doing something where they fix the multiverse into one thing, and now everybody's all in one thing, and so everybody is live action. But because it's split off, everything can either be animated, CGI, all that stuff like that. But that's my spec. That's my 22-minute video on just me just running at the mouth about why I think Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is coming to the MCU. But if you like what you see and you want to see more, and if you stuck around to hear my spec, I appreciate you guys wholeheartedly. So I know some of these videos, they can get long and winded, and people like me, you know, you sometimes like short videos, but then I also like that good educational, that good extensive video when it makes sense. But I hope this makes sense to you guys. Comment below and let me know if you think that my spec is right. If you feel like, hey, Devin, you might be on to something, I might need to look for them Devil Dinosaur books. Go on eBay. Go on eBay and look at the Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur books. They are not cheap. Especially them key books, not cheap whatsoever. I have some, but there's some that I still want to find. I still haven't found a pink goblin yet. I have Devin Dinosaur coming into the mail call with 2 other books that's MCU Future Spec. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but it just seems like this year my whole collection has been nothing but Future Phase 4 MCU Spec. It just happens that way. But when you collect the way that you collect and things happen at the right time, it kind of just falls like that. It's not really a planned thing or whatever. But when I sit back, I'm like, dang, I do have that. I do have that first appearance. Oh, that person just got announced. I just picked that up. Like, it just happens. But thank you guys for watching. Also, drop down below, hit that description, and click on that last comic pickups in Savannah, Georgia if you want to enter for the 300 subscriber giveaway. I thank you guys for watching and subscribing to me. We're at 304, 305 right now. Hey, even if we never get past that, I'm grateful for that. You guys have stuck with me since I made this channel, and especially since discovering this channel and kind of just figuring out my niche and everything. But it's comic books. I like talking about it. I like the spec, and I found out that I have kind of an extensive knowledge on it, more than I thought I realized. And I don't even read comic books like that or whatever, but I think just wholeheartedly I've been secretly in that world just and never really knew about it, and it kind of makes me hate that. Dang, I wish I kind of was on the comic book game like everybody else when they were younger, and who knows what my collection would have been by now. But I'm here now. I'm grateful for my collection now, and I appreciate you guys watching me build my collection, because my collection is your collection. We're building this thing together. I'm getting all this stuff and all that because I'm trying to show you guys stuff that I don't see when I watch YouTube videos and comic book videos, because you usually see the same unboxings, the same comics and all that, and I always kind of do like something different. I kind of want to get like, oh yeah, let's get this. You don't even see that book out, you know, a lot or whatever. Let's talk about it, like that Unborn or whatever. When's the last time you seen an Unborn comic, or that one? So, you know, just showing something different. So I definitely always try to make sure that I show stuff different on this channel that's unique, that makes you want to come back and watch it, even if my videos don't get thousands of views right now. Hey, it's a slow climb. Greatness takes time. And I appreciate you guys. And remember that golden rule: collect what you love, but love what you collect. Have a happy Friday. This drops on Friday night. Enjoy your weekend, guys. I appreciate you guys. I will see you guys later.